beer tubers, and welcome to this 2014 edition of the Master of Hoppets Q&A. Sorry for posting it on Monday. I told you it would be last Friday, but I was busy and didn't have time to get shot. But I got some questions here collected, and I'm going to try and get through most of them. I don't want to get the video too long, because last time that I did a Q&A, it was live on Google Hangouts, and it was over like 1.5 hours or something like that, so way too long. So this is going to be a more condensed version. So hopefully you guys enjoy this. I'll sip on some brew whilst doing this, some Victorious or Vic's Secret IPA, and answer your guys' questions. So up first is a whole mess of questions from Luan Nguyen. I think that's how you pronounce it. I think he's from Norway. He says, what is your least favorite beer style? Easy, brown ales. Once in a while, you get a good one. Like what was it called? Cubano espresso style brown ale from Cigar City, which is awesome. So once in a while that happens, but I guess that's my least favorite beer style. It's at least the beer style I drink the least of. You have drunk a lot of some whiskey barrel-aged beer. Did it make you check out more whiskey? And do you have a favorite whiskey? I really like PD whiskeys, Isla whiskeys, or Isla. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right. I don't know like as much about whiskey as I do beer, but I like Scotch Isla whiskeys, and then I also like some bourbons a lot. Elijah Craig 12-year-old is really good and is fairly cheap, and then also I had the Pappy Van Winkle 10, which was awesome. Couldn't afford any of the others, but the 10 was great. But yeah, I've drunk whiskey many times before, but never really got super into it. But I'm getting a little bit more into spirits while doing these reviews as well. I'm also really digging rum at the moment. You can get some really nice rums out there. El Dorado makes some really affordable and really good Demerara rums if you ever want to check out some rum. But can you do more reviews from Scandinavia? So I'm not sure what you mean with this question. If you want to see more reviews of Scandinavian beer, because I already feel like I do a pretty decent amount. Other thing with Denmark, we can mostly get Danish beer. For example, Nøgne, the collection I can get of their stuff is very small, and I don't really get any Swedish beer. So, and to you guys who said, why are you only mentioning Norway and Sweden? Because Norway, Sweden, and Denmark is Scandinavia. The other countries, Finland, Iceland, etc., is called the Nordics. But yeah, if I get around, if you mean reviews out and about in Scandinavia, I will definitely shoot stuff. I always do that when I'm traveling. Power Mad is awesome. Do you agree? I take it it's a band, but I've never heard of them. So, sorry man. Then, what is your favorite comic book of all time and why? So yeah, some of you guys might know I'm into comic books as well. I did a series of comic book videos with Chad, 9976. We reviewed or discussed Y the Last Man, which is a great comic series. I don't know, I always have troubles picking a favorite of all time thingy, but at the moment, the comic I read the most of is The Walking Dead, which I follow regularly. Other than that, well, Y the Last Man is great. I really dug the Civil War storyline from Marvel. I'm pretty much mostly a Marvel guy when it comes to the superhero stuff. The only really DC character I really dig is Batman, but there's like The Man Who Laughs and all those kind of, Batman graphic novels are awesome as well. But at the moment, what I read the most is definitely The Walking Dead, so I guess that'd be my favorite. I've actually written projects about both the TV show and the comic book at university, so definitely dig that stuff. But again, there's a ton of comics. Currently, I'm also reading a little bit of Wolverine Origins, if you know that storyline. It's after something called House of M's and Decimation. It's nerdy stuff, but yeah, comic books are awesome. So yeah. Last question from Luan is, please do more reviews with your father. I will. Every time I visit him, I bring some beer for us to try together. So it's not often because he lives like kind of far away. Then we have Yao Ribeiro. Ribeiro? I can't pronounce that last name. Sorry, man. It says, how hard is it to edit and shoot the videos? And how hard is it to learn? Actually, shooting them is not that hard once you get into it. In the beginning, it was kind of awkward and stuff, but, you know, once you get used to it, it's not bad at all. The editing is what takes most time. And basically, it's just a matter of finding an editing program that suits you, and then get started on watching tutorials on YouTube or read tutorials, and then go from there. It takes a little time to get the knack of it, but once you do, and you get like a look of your video or whatever you want to call it, when you get that down, it goes faster. And also depends on what video it is. Sometimes ramblings in like beer reviews and stuff will make the editing process longer. Adam's beer reviews. If you don't know him, guys, he's a guy over in the UK who does beer reviews as well. He says, what are your top 3 Imperial Stouts? And they can include any barrel aged ones in this too. Now, that, for me, top 10s and all that stuff changes all the time. I mean, you can ask me today, and then in a few months, ask me what my top Imperial Stouts are then, and it will probably be different. But still, probably the #1 Imperial Stout I've ever had is Bourbon County Stout Rare Edition, which was amazing. I'd probably also say Parabola. It's probably going to be US dominated mostly. Yeah, Parabola, and then probably actually also Bourbon Barrel Aged Vanilla Shake from Miller at the moment. That was amazing. Unfortunately, I don't have any more bottles, but we had a lot of that. And it is such a great beer. If you haven't had it, you need to try it. I believe he's making a cocoa vanilla shake as well, which has got chocolate in it too, so that's going to be hopefully awesome. Kim Jong-un says, where did you get your wristband from? All these wristbands are from a festival, you guys have followed me for a while know about it, called Wacken, which is one of the biggest heavy metal festivals in the world. And I've been going every year since 2010. So yeah, that's what it is. That's where they're from, and it's a hell of a good time. You can go on my channel and search for Wacken and you will find some very silly videos. And Hogo69s ask, if you see this, I was curious, how tall are you? Denmark is supposed to be the country with the tallest people in the world at around 6 foot average height. I am 187 centimeters, so that is about 6 feet and 2 inches in height. Something along those lines. David Garcia, can you show the view from your rooftop? I did a couple of reviews up there with Mess, the Duke of Delirium, and you could just see, like, you couldn't see the view, like the entire city. But we shot a review up there a few days ago of a beer. I think it was Rare Boss from Omegang. So stay tuned for that. Then you can see the whole view of the rooftop from my apartment complex. Nick Toch or Toch says, are you planning to do any more cooking with beer episodes in the near future? I will be doing more. I know there've been very few of them, but they just are a pain to edit compared to beer reviews. There's so much more, like I need to do different camera angles and stuff like that for it. So I'll try and shoot some more of those in the future though, for sure. I have some recipes down that I just need to cook up for you guys. So Horseman says, what's your favorite Beatles album? I don't really listen to Beatles, so I don't have a favorite. What is your favorite beer style? That varies a lot as well. At the moment, it used to be Imperial Stout, it used to be IPAs, but at the moment I'm really starting to dig Saisons. They can be so nice if they're done right, especially with Brettanomyces. I really like what Crooked Stave and stuff like that are doing. But also I'm starting to get into session beers because the whole big beer thing has been done so much. So, I don't know, that varies a lot. At the moment I'd say probably something Saison. I'm also really starting to get into Berliner Weisse, but other than that, my original all-time favorite style was IPA and Imperial Stout. But so Samantha7 asks, how many craft breweries are there in Denmark, and how do you feel about the scene there? There are new ones popping up often, actually, or once in a while. Now, I think we're about 128 or 132 different breweries here, which is crazy for such a small country. I think we're the country in the world which has the most breweries per capita or something like that. But yeah, the scene is growing. It's pretty much, we have a great beer scene in Denmark. But the thing is, it really depends on where you live. Copenhagen is one of the biggest beer capitals in Europe for me. They have amazing bars, amazing selections, bottle shops, etc. But the other cities, bigger cities, are not as good. I mean, my city where I'm in, Aalborg, used to be a little bit better. I used to work at a bottle shop which closed, unfortunately. So now we have one wine shop that's getting really good. They started it's called Vinspecialisten. They actually started a website called bestofbeers.dk where they just started getting so much new stuff, and they also sell that in the stores. So that, in that sense, is really nice. We just got our first, like, really craft beer focused beer bar here called Basement Beer Bar. You'll see some video of that soon as well. 21 taps of great Danish and all kinds of craft beer, you know, from all over the world. And then they're going to do bottles and stuff as well, so awesome. But other than that, the breweries vary a lot. There's everything from, you know, you have you have the kind of big macro breweries like Carlsberg and Royal Unibrew, stuff like that. Then you have the craft breweries, but those vary in quality a lot. You have, usually we distinguish like supermarket type craft beer and then craft beer for specialty stores like wine shops and stuff like that. Because a lot of the supermarket stuff, yeah, some of it is pretty good, but a lot of it is kind of like intermediate level, entry level craft beer. So it's like if you haven't had a lot of craft beer, you'd go to the supermarket maybe and get some stuff there. It's not as expensive and maybe not as crazy, you know, taste wise. Once you have all the crazy Mikkeller, Stronzo, whatnot, Amager stuff at the specialty stores. But I think the Danish beer market is growing really nicely. We're getting a couple of new breweries have opened this year that I know of. There's probably more. Yeah. The cool thing is, like, I have some numbers here from 2012, and in 2000, I couldn't find the newest numbers, but in 2012, 756 Danish beer were released on the Danish market, and just back in, for example, in 2000, 12 years ago, there was only 15 new beers, which is insane. So stuff has really happened, and a lot of new stuff is opening. The guy who makes most new Danish beers is Mikkeller. He makes so many different ones. But yeah, I hope that answers your question a little bit. Chris W. says, if I've eaten at Noma or any of the Michelin-starred restaurants in Copenhagen, what was the experience, expectation, blah, 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 blah. Nope. Easy as that. I haven't. In what places in the world is the beer scene prospering or up and coming that one might know or expect? Poland and Estonia, in general, Eastern Europe is doing like modern American type craft beer, which is really, really cool. Not a place you expect to be doing stuff like that. So, Rojum 55, what's your favorite stone beer? Possibly, I think it's Ruination 10th Anniversary. That is just such an amazing beer. I really hope we'll be able to get more stone beer once they open in Berlin, in Germany. Also, the other question, new stuff happening in Europe. Germany is also really doing exciting new stuff. For example, Zeitgeist Bierkultur in Germany. They're making a lot of different types of Berliner Weisses and Goses and Sours and stuff. They make some really cool stuff. And Rojum 55 also asked, have you ever watched a single anime? I've watched a lot of Miyazaki stuff, you know, My Neighbor Totoro and Princess Mononoke and stuff like that, but I'm not a big anime fan. I watched Dragon Ball when I was younger, Pokemon, but I don't really watch anime, really. Once in a while I'll watch maybe some Miyazaki because I think it's pretty good, but other than that, not really. So, last question, guys. Spending a way too long time answering these questions, sorry. This is from Tweak54, and he says, do you like wine? I'm starting to like wine much more than I did a few years back, which is nice. It's fun how craft beer also improves your taste buds in other like things, not just beer, but it also makes you, because you're seeking out all these different new beers, makes you want to seek out other stuff as well. And like, once you start the craft beer thing, there's just like no going back with tasting different things, and I just love it. I love experiencing new stuff. So I'm starting to get into wine a little bit. Not as hardcore as beer. Beer is still #1, but some wine in Denmark is actually, it's called Frederik State. They make cherry wines. Wines that usually have a really bad reputation, and they make a few different ones, and it's just amazing. If you ever see any Frederik State wine, around your area, you need to check it out. Like there's Surly, which is like a kind of sour cherry wine, is amazing. They have like the Sava versions, and I can't remember all the names. They have a regular one as well, but they make so good cherry wine. So yeah, and also actually started liking port wine a whole lot more. But yeah, that's it for this Q&A, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have some questions I didn't answer, you can post them below. Try to answer in a comment. And yeah, guys, thanks for watching. I want to say cheers, and we'll see you guys in a beer review or unboxing video or something like that. Cheers.